Was is er nou?
Stuur zeker wegen them.
Joje iets niet, joh.
Two outlaws on the lam, taking the back roads through America.
You can't drink enough coffee for this show.
And now it's time for Monday Madness with the Moped Outlaws, Greg and Mark.
And we're live. There's no...
Yeah, that's right. It's another year, or it will be soon. By the time you've listened to this whole broadcast over and over again since we launched it. That's right. Hard rock era, baby. 2026, 250th anniversary of the... You know what?
The what? All right. So there's no lyrics?
Nope.
All right. Sweet. So, yeah, it's been, this is the conclusion of our 5th season of Moped Outlaws. And it's been a fucking great, mad journey. There's so much behind the curtain, right, Marc, that really goes into this. We have a team member that joined us earlier in the year, and she's been wonderful.
Eileen!
Yeah. So that's very cool. And I don't know, any guests stand out in your mind from this past, let's say 5 years?
Whoa. It's hard to talk over this kind of rock and roll.
That. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what's
Thank you, Suno. This is AI-generated hard rock.
Right.
We won't get shut down by the authorities for copyright infringement, but it's music made by the machine that you're listening to. But later we'll be presenting something that's not just the machine. It might involve the machine. But
all right,
hopefully you've enjoyed this crazy intro.
Oh, we could have left it going.
I know, but I couldn't think anymore. It wasn't loud enough for me to think. You know, they're all forgettable. If you ask me. And I think that's more about me than them. Like, let's just be honest. I live in the moment. And particularly, you know, I think it was season 2 when we talked a little bit about my temporary amnesia phase that I went through. Yeah. Might have been season 3. I can't remember. But every guest that we're talking to is my favorite guest in the moment.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah.
Because it's such a wide, wonderful world of humanity.
Yeah, it's true.
And you can tune into Joe Rogan or these other shows and talk to really interesting people like Elon Musk, or, you know, you can go and watch an old Prince Rogers Nelson interview video, and that's fine. And I understand why, but you're not going to find anybody like the guests that come on Moped Outlaws, because we are dredging the bottom of the barrel just for you.
Oh, that's sort of a slight on our guests, don't you think?
Well, I don't mean it really. We are actively finding amazing people, and it's definitely not dredging the bottom of the barrel, but it was like the funniest thing I could think of to say at the moment. And I think that's one of the core values of Moped Outlaws. And it got serious really fast last week with Rivka. And I know that it tends to get serious really fast. And that's okay. We need to talk about this stuff. But at the same time, man, 2026 is coming hard. And I'm hoping to have a little bit more lightheartedness. And, you know, I might think of something that, you know, I thought was really powerful. You know, having Mr. formerly MC Radioactive, Bridge Feltus, Ken Blackman. I mean, there's been a bunch of great guests for sure. Ellen Hewitt, that was all this year. No, not all of it. Some of it was this year. How about you? What are some of the ones that stand out for you?
The woman who went and rescued her daughters from Greece, or her daughter, and then had another daughter like that she adopted. and I'm forgetting her name at the moment. The one woman that, I don't know if you'd say she's a sex worker, but I guess in a way she was, but it was all on camera. It was all streamed content. But that was a really juicy Hain. And as you say, they're all juicy. I got to say, like, one of the things that is interesting in this behind the curtain stuff is the challenges. Like, we line up a guest and they don't show up, and then you're like, okay, now what? Like that. One of the things that occurs, because last week's Hain with my sister Rivka was about patience and kindness being what love is, and the practice of those is love, and it's not a feeling, she said. And and so we don't. Here's what I was going to say. I don't know if people know when they don't show up, it impacts you and I. There's a impact to our lives. And we also want to hold the potential impact that's occurring in theirs, of which is why they didn't show up. Mm-hmm. I'm just speaking to one of the elements of having a podcast. We're going on our 6th year, and you and I have held a lot. There's been a lot of energy poured into this that I deeply appreciate, being shoulder to shoulder with you in this, because I love it still. Love it.
Yeah. It's a mixed bag of disappointment. Is it me? And like also like concern about their well-being. Like, what has it that you could book time on a podcast that's going to put attention on you? Something that I am really into, like putting attention on me is my favorite thing. And so I don't understand it at all, why someone would miss out on that. And I make up stories, and most of them are not good. It's about harm that came to them or fear that I have about harm coming to them. And I don't even like to do that, because I'd rather not think about that or give it energy. And at the same time, it better be something good if you didn't show up to talk to me.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Because we didn't fucking force you to book yourself. You wanted this. And then you just blow it off. Suck a bag of dicks.
Yeah, it's kind of like our core wound showing up of being abandoned when we feel that way. Like, it's not our fault, and it's not their fault. It doesn't even have to be something disturbing to either of us. But here we are. And one of the reasons this broadcast is the way it is because some beer dude didn't show up for the second time. Like, we rescheduled him and he didn't show up. And, I feel sad for him, because next time he calls and he wants to do it, we're going to say yes.
Are we?
That's why I'm sad for him.
I hope he doesn't call then.
The unexpected humor version of Marky today. I'm in a good mood. I'm full of holiday spirit. We're recording this prior to Christmas, so it's fun to think of this. And I have some other things that are part of this that I want to get to, and I want you to. Well, first of all, let's actually honor Eileen. Like, Eileen is a woman who does marketing and podcast editing and social media, and we decided to really go deep into our budgets and find a way to hire someone. And so we outsourced it to the Philippines, and we found an amazing human being. Someone who shows up with our best interests at heart, someone who drives us to be better at what we do, but always entertains our creative spirit, and whose work is on time and exemplary. And I think that we're super lucky to have found her, and for the contribution she's making to the show. And I want to do more with her. And one of the ways we're going to need to be able to do that is we've got to start making some money from this show, folks. Like, help us pay Eileen more. Like, I don't even want the money for me, right?
Well,
I would like to give Eileen more to do. Maybe, hire her friends to do some other things that we might need. Like, honestly, I'm so glad we trade off editing and publishing every other week. But dude, I'm ready to have a production manager do that. I'm so ready to just be talent on the show.
And to launch our adrenochrome cola brand.
Oh God, that was such a flop.
Oh God, it got ostracized.
Yeah, it did. It was a success in that it made the YouTube gods angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. And maybe rightly so. But
I don't know. I think it's still a brand that's dying to get out there. Literally.
Right. and I love being the creative part of this. And I think we're lucky to get to do it. As Rivka was saying last week, we're privileged to be where we're at. And I definitely don't take that for granted. Especially at our age, we're starting to have various health things show up. You were literally working so hard, your hands were bleeding.
They still are. Like, I'm still, you can see that.
Yeah.
Now I call it my Jesus wound.
Yeah, it's kind of what it is.
Yeah, and there's all this chaos going on.
I wasn't actually inviting you to show us, but
hope you're not eating.
So 2025 has been a great year. We consistently showed up and delivered a podcast. We're past our 250th episode, right?
Yeah, this will be our this will be our 229th episode.
Oh, 29th episode. So we're coming up on 250 later in the spring. That'll be a momentous occasion.
Yeah.
And
still have this dream to be on mopeds out on the blue highways.
Yes, that is coming. For sure. And another person we should mention is the person who created our theme song. Your son. Would you say a little bit about what it's like living with him?
Oh my God, it's wonderful. It's just that man is a joy in my life. It's an honor to be in his presence and spirit. He's a deeply thoughtful individual with a lot of empathy, while also having a drive, exuberance for his own life. And he's in the realm of AI, but he's in the medical side of it. And it's fascinating because he was just showing me, he wrote a program where on a little pad on your screen, you do a number, and then the AI program tells you what number it is and the percentage that it got it right. And so I mentioned that to say, programming's a deep part of what he's in, but the lab he's working with is to bring speech to people who have had their stem cord severed in some manner, and they're paralyzed. They have no, the one individual I know he's working with is referred to as B6, and he lives in San Jose.
We shouldn't talk about that personal details.
You can. That's why it's B6. There's just, but it's to bring speech, and part of what from the neurological data that the individual has, and part of the process of training, and ultimately you're attempting to train the AI programming, but there is an element of the individual also interacting. They have these sound bites, and they're repeated, and then the recognition of it and what part of the brain is lit up by, let's say, the snake bit my ankle, and you hear that, and what part of the brain is lighting up at, snake bit and.
Right. So the words "the snake bit my ankle" is a whole complex neurological interaction, and your son Jonah is instrumental in bringing the technology for that forward as a result of the education and preparation.
Right. He's also a musician, and he created a song that integrated these sound bits that the lab uses into a song.
Music.
And yeah, do you want to hear it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely want to hear it.
Here we go.
Turn it up.
All right.
Junior. Nobody likes Junior. What on earth's the matter with you? Junior. Nobody likes Junior. Nobody likes snakes.
Tiny handful never did make the concert.
And what eyes they were.
It had gone like clockwork.
Yet they thrived on it.
He moistened his lips uneasily.
Tiny handful never did make the concert.
And what eyes they were.
It had gone like clockwork.
Yet they thrived on it.
He moistened his lips uneasily.
Junior. Sex. Junior.
Uneasily.
Junior. Sex. Junior. Sex. Junior. Sex.
Uneasily.
Nobody likes Junior. Sex.
It had gone like clockwork.
Junior. Sex. Junior.
Yet they thrived on it.
Junior. Sex.
It had gone like clockwork.
Junior. Sex. Junior.
Uneasily.
Junior. What on earth's the matter with you?
Have you got enough blankets?
A bullet.
She answered uneasily. It was nobody's fault. Have you got enough blankets?
A bullet.
She answered uneasily. It was nobody's fault. Have you got enough blankets?
A bullet.
She answered easily. It was nobody's fault. Have you got enough blankets?
A bullet.
She answered easily. It was nobody's fault. Have you got enough blankets?
A bullet.
She answered easily.
Nobody likes Junior. Sex. Junior. Sex. Junior. Sex. Junior Sex. Nobody likes Junior.
All right.
Jonah, rocking it, brah. And yeah, thanks, Jonah, for the Moped Outlaws theme song. If you're up for it, dude, we'd love to have a refresher at some point.
No, I think our opener is great.
Oh, I do too. I'm just saying, after 6 years, never hurts to,
Yeah, it does. It hurts me.
It hurt. Okay, well.
Takes a lot of time
to
and
hurt you.
to create those.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to that. Yeah.
No, that was easy.
All right.
You know,
That's what, like the keyboards, he has a keyboard that.
Really?
Yeah, like that was, there was no AI involved. That's what I want to say. Like that was.
It's just samples.
He was chopping up the sound bites from the computer, but he was playing the keyboards and drum tracks and all that stuff.
So it was a human musical interface there.
Right. Yeah.
Got it. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we, again, like this image that you're all looking at, we generated that with AI. That song that I did at the beginning generated with AI. The tools of creativity are getting weirder and weirder. And, you can embrace that or hate it and embrace it. A little of both.
I had a wonderful teacher this last semester in the drama class, and we had a paper we had to do. And as an experiment, I wrote my paper and I turned that in for my grade. But then I also put my paper and the teacher's instructions of how the paper was supposed to be written into AI. and spit out a paper. And I asked the teacher as an experiment, would he take a look at this AI one? And it was wonderful. He gave feedback to us, and he said there was one aspect I personally missed, and AI missed the exact same aspect. And his point was like garbage in, garbage out is sort of still one of the cornerstones to what's happening.
Or glory in, glory out. So if you got the goods and the prompts are good and the source material is good, then you might get a pretty good New Year's Eve image that spells our name right.
Right.
And I didn't say put mushrooms in it or skulls on the tree. So I don't know why it did that. But I'm glad to be riding with you. And like, this is amazing. And I want to get like super serious for a second. And I'm doing this with purpose. I've actually been thinking about this. And I'm not sure I want to keep going. And I have that experience a lot. And what I decided to do is just keep showing up. And I had all these thoughts about like, oh, if we, I'm going to do this, I'm going to say that. And I'm like, you know what? I can break the line, but I can't ever get it back if I do. And so what I'm really feeling like is I want to break out of this flat screen, internet-based version of Moped Outlaws. And I really want to get out there and be on the mopeds and meet people unexpectedly and find out what their interesting stories are and have that be the experience that you, the audience, and that Greg and I share. And I'd like that to be continuous, meaning I'd like to do that frequently enough that we can build weekly shows on it, but not necessarily have to be here every week. But you know what I'm realizing when I think about what it would take to actually do all of that is it'll actually be more work than this. Right? And we've seen that because we've kind of spec'd it out and we've looked at what it would take and all those things. And so here it is, manifesting 2026. I would really love it for Greg and I to have our equipment list bought and have to plan the time to be on the road for starting a pilot series for 3 days and then gradually moving our way up to 3-week outings and then being able to edit those together in a seasonal way so that you get basically a television program and not just an internet discussion. And I think we're worth it. I think over and over again, the things that people say to us after the show is, that was really fun. That wasn't what I expected. And I'm like, that's both affirming and also a little bit weird. Like, that's not what I was expecting. It's sort of funny. And
well,
the second half.
The what?
The second half of it was, it's really fun. We're not your usual hosts, I don't think.
I think at least that seems the feedback we get from our guests when the cameras are off is what you just said, that we're not your usual hosts in their experience. Like, we don't go for what you could just find on their Wikipedia or their about page on their website. Like, and I think for both of us, that's there. We know that. Anyone could go find that. Who are you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But you dropped this element of like, you're done, in a sense. Like, it's a challenge right now for you to do this.
I wouldn't say it that way.
Okay.
I think if you listen to how I said it, is I've been thinking for a while that I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
That's just what I've been thinking.
Right.
And I keep showing up.
Right.
Because I believe that is the crux of a kind of human key to unlocking your unlimited potential. Is every time your mind tells you that story, that it's the choice to go beyond your misperceived limitations and step into the next possibility. And that's where the magic is. And so rather than giving in to that feeling, I want to create the new version, right? And I think it's really telling that it will probably be harder.
Careful what you wish for.
Exactly. But I want that for me, right? And that's because I want to have in conversations with interesting people and help them take their next step forward.
Yeah.
And that translates to this, and it also translates to what I do as professionally. And that's my ethos. That's my cornerstone ethos. And I think we can. I think it's worth it. And I think the more we get to know each other, both Greg and I, like it's going to be a whole other world, like actually living together on mopeds for 3 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be another interesting chemical composition.
Are we going to become mechanics? Like when one of us breaks down on the side of the road, are we fixing our own bikes?
Yeah. Mark, you didn't pay your insurance. Well, good luck. I'll see you when we get to so-and-so. Hope you got AAA. No, I don't think that's how it's going to happen. And I don't see us being on separate tour buses either. But you never know how these things go. What I will say is I think your heart's in the right place, and I trust your creativity, and I trust your inspiration. And I think that we have that really cool thing that good partnerships have, which is we both bring unique elements to the table, and we both really care about our co-host at a level at which we're willing to help and bring forth the best in them, and then also be willing to reflect on what needs to happen so that we can show up to be the better version of ourselves. And honestly, the thing in me that wants to not do it is actually the thing in me that really just wants it to be the dream. It wants it to be the thing that we've talked about it being. And that's where that frustration comes. It's like, come on, man. Like, it should be that thing. There's no COVID. Well, there's COVID, but there's no reason for it not to be that.
Well, let me ask you, because you've been in some wonderful bands, and is there a similar element to the real challenge in growth that it does require more? The growth is saying it's going to be more work. It's going to be more. Is that a similar experience with Moped Outlaws right now? Like potentially we're at a crossroad where staying at the table, hot and hard as it may be in the moment, is really inviting the feast that one's been dreaming of.
I don't disagree. I think the question you're asking me about my experience with bands is that there is this point where you get out of the garage and you start to get some local gigs. And when you have to get in the van, there is a kind of ritual initiation that entails. And like any other initiation, it is uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to feel like work. And that's the key difference. It's how you relate to it, right? If you relate to it from the point of view of, this is what I want, right? Not like, oh, this is the shit I have to put up with to get with what I want, right? No, right? It's that other thing. It's feeling the wind through my knot hair.
That's right? Not natty dreads. That's none at all.
Right. And, pulling over, like maybe we get a flat and the person that stops is like really interesting. And they have like a bunch of caged monkeys in the back of their van or whatever it is. And we're like, dude, want to do a podcast? Right. And they're like, what? And we're like, yeah, that's why we're out here. And they're like, what? Well, you guys are nuts. And we're like, yeah, it'd be fun to talk to you. Like, what is all this shit? And we set up the cameras and we get in there and we have the conversation, and it goes on the SD cards, and it gets, whatever, it gets uploaded to, our editor, or however that's going to work. And that to me represents the roll of the dice, the wild card, right. like Muddy Waters said it best. He said, "A rolling stone gathers no moss." And then a plucky band from England decided to steal that shit. And they've gone for a long time doing some amazing things, right?
Mhm.
And I think that that's still a viable sort of ethos. And it ties in with the boho mofo for show stuff, which was all about on the road and, Kerouac, and which led to the Beat Generation, and which led to the Grateful Dead and psychedelia, and that thread of the call to adventure, the hero's journey, right? So I'm curious what I'll have to let go of in myself to be able to get to this experience. Well, right now, that's this desire to quit. That's what I have to let go of. And it's not hard.
That's good. That brings me great joy.
Yeah, it's not hard. And, every artist's, especially musicians, go through things where their family or some person in their lives like, are you sure you want to be doing this? Like, blah, blah, blah. And when my heart answers that question, I don't have an issue.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
And I think it's going to get weirder out there in the world. And I don't know whether I will like that.
Well,
but I think it'd be nice to bring it to you from the front lines.
Amen to that. So I want to just share this experience I had in the last 24 hours, and it'll be about 2 weeks when the public's hearing this. TikTok is sort of my inebriation of the day. Like when I just want to turn off, I pull up TikTok and I can just be mindless mindless for hours and hours and hours. Realizing that, I now keep it to around 10 minutes. And I scrolled across this little thing that said Trump in the Hall of Presidents in the White House had put plaques up under past presidents berating them. And like for the Joe Biden image, it was an image of a pen on paper and it said, sleepy Joe Biden. I was like, oh, that can't be real. That's no TikTok chaos. And I looked it up and it's real.
Yep, it's real.
And I was like, wow, like that. So I think to me, that ignites the fire in me for fuck yeah, Moped Outlaws. Let's get out to this world and help show people who we are. We don't need a fucker like that as our leader. Fuck you. Like what that should, So
that's it. Our new byline, Moped Outlaws, Season 6, inspired by MAGA.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's a crazy way to motivate yourself, my friend, but I get it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just want to be able to have really cool things to for other people to scroll past.
But here's the thing, like speaking back to last week's episode, truly, I recognize that me as an individual, I want to be the individual who has this fuck you, and take a breath and don't exclude Trump from the table. You're welcome at my table. I'm not sure what that means, what that looks like. Let's sit down and stay at the table and see what happens.
Yeah. So very soon, sooner than we think, 5 seasons went by quick from where I sit. Very soon, we won't have him to kick around anymore.
I hope so. There's a scary thought of a third term.
Right. And so the question is, when we aren't so busy orienting ourselves about what we're opposed to, what do we stand for?
Yeah.
And I think that's a really important question for all of us to start dealing with. What do we stand for? And right now, my personal podcasting ambitions are about standing for the possibility of riding towards the horizon with you by my side, meeting interesting people and listening to their stories, but not having to do it every fucking week.
right. Well, on that note, my biology is calling to me. So,
Okay.
Marc, Eminem or Foo Fighters?
Wow. I still love the Foo Fighters because I'm a guitar player, and I really want to see them collaborate. And I know this has come up in our conversations before. Greg, Eminem or Foo Fighters?
Today it's Eminem because the power just seems like from day one he's held that fire, and that fire has not diminished.
Got it. Well, Happy New Year to our Moped Outlaws. Those of you, yeah, it's great. And thanks to all of our guests for these past 5 seasons. And to our future guests, show up on time. And if you say you're going to be here, be here.
Love you, Marc.
Love you too, Greg.
Recording stopped.